Okay, welcome to this seminar. We are going to talk about women empowerment in Ethiopia. And we who are inviting you to this seminar is Church of Sweden, Helsingborg Parish. And our guests, our partners, we have invited two organizations from Ethiopia. One organization is Ethiopian Graduate School of Theology. And if we say EGST sometimes during the presentation, that's them. It's an institution for higher academic studies to study, among other things, leadership and human rights, gender, theology, and so forth on master's level. And they also have PhD programs. The other organization is an independent NGO called Hope for Children in Ethiopia. And they are working primarily with the underprivileged people in Addis Ababa. Young people and young women, young men, street children, and they also have other programs that we will come back to. My name is Thomas Andersson. I work for the parish.
And my name is Linda Gustafsson. I also work for the parish of Helsingborg. And we have three questions that we hopefully will answer during this hour. And these are: how important is it for a woman to be able to educate and support herself to be able to live a safe and dignified life? And how does it affect a society when more girls and women are educated? And finally, a more philosophical question: what can we see when we focus on the human in human rights? And I think it's time to introduce our friends and partners from Ethiopia. So I think all of you can please get on stage. Welcome. Yes, you can sit down. We will introduce you soon. So. And Thomas, he told us a bit about Ethiopian Graduate School of Theology. And today with us we have Hanna Bekele and Hussein Berhanu. You have different roles on the theology school, and we will talk to you soon. Very welcome here. And as Thomas said, EGST is an ecumenical theology graduate school in Addis Ababa, and it was founded in 1997. And they have a motto that is important to say as well, and that is serving church and society in Ethiopia and beyond. And we will soon talk to you.
And moving on to Hope for Children, we have with us Amen Hultström and Nebi Undessa and Jonas Tesfaye. Very welcome here. Hope for Children, as I said, is an NGO. It was started in 2001 and by a small group of people. And it has a vision to improve the life of the very underprivileged people. It mainly focuses on young women and men, and it runs many different programs. They have their own kindergarten, they have safe housing, they have vocational training, they have self-help groups for women, they work with child laborers, and many other things. But on this seminar, we will focus on the work they do with the young women in Addis Ababa who are living in the streets and often they have been forced into commercial sex work. So this is what we will talk about to them about. It has a vision statement, a holistic improvement in the lives of the underprivileged communities. But first, a few words about Ethiopia, where these organizations are working. Now, Ethiopia is an astonishing country in many ways. It's a very big country. It's situated on the Horn of Africa, and it has a very rich culture. It has many different cultures, actually. It has never been colonized, and it's a very interesting country to visit. It is a large country. 120 million people live in Ethiopia, and about 55% of the people are under the age of 18. It also has a strong economic growth, but it has a strong economic growth from a very low starting point, so to speak. So the national gross capital per person is almost around $1,000 per year. It's a democratic country. It has a young, new prime minister by the name of Dr. Abiy Ahmed. But it's also a country that is ridden by many challenges. Of course, poverty is one big challenge. Ethnic division is another one. It's also very much affected by the climate change. At the same time, it's a country with many promises. There is a young population being educated, and there are many structures in place that also work for equality between men and women and so forth. So it's a country of both promises and challenges. One of the challenges is, of course, its civil war that erupted a few years ago, and has also meant that they have many IDPs, internally displaced people. Over 15 million people are displaced in Ethiopia, and over 600,000 children are living in the streets.
Yes, and we will give you some numbers just to get an apprehension about the situation that these two organizations are working with. Just like Thomas said, more than 4 million children live under particularly difficult circumstances in Ethiopia. And approximately 600,000 street children is there in Ethiopia. Almost 16 million children from the ages of 5 to 17 are engaged in child labor, abuse and exploitation. And over 6 million children of the pre-primary age, 4 to 6 years, are out of school. So these are the challenges that we meet, that this organization meet, and working with, of course. And this is a seminar about women, and of course we can give some challenges also for the women of Ethiopia that this organization work with. A lot of women are exposed to early marriage and early pregnancy. There are gender-based violence. A lot of women are have limited access to education and limited access to leadership positions. And of course, this has a ground in traditional gender roles also. That also are a big challenge in Ethiopia. We start to look at the film from Hope for Children, and then we will meet Jonas and Nebu and Amen to talk a little more about Hope for Children.
ከሁለት ዓመት ከሰው ቤት እየሰራው ሳለ ሁለት ጎረምሳ ልጆች ነበሩ ከምሰራበት ቤት ማለት ነው። እነሱ በሚያስቸግረኝ ሰዓት እኔ ወጣሁኝና ቤተክርስቲያን ነበር ማረው የለመንኩ ምናምን ነገር። ብዙ ችግሮች ያጋጥማሉ፣ ግን እነሱም በትዕግስት ነበር ማርፈው። ማለት የሚማታ ሰው ምናምን ይኖራል ምናምን በቃ በስካ መንፈስ ነው። ለምሳሌ ጉዳን አስተዳድሪ ለምሳሌ ብቻሽን ከሆንሽ ከገለጾች ከካሪሽ ብቻሽን ከሆንሽ አንዱ ይመጣል ወይ ደግሞ አላ ብዙ እንድትናው ነገር ከመጡ እዛ ጋር ሊደርስ ይችላል።
እንዲህ ውጭ እያደረኩኝ ያቺ ጓደኛዬ ማለት ነው እና ልታስደፍረኝ ብላ ሙከራ ብር ተቀብላ ልታስደፍረኝ ብላ ሙከራ ሰው ያስጣለብኝ ጊዜ አለ።
ቤተክርስቲያንም አንዳንዴ አላስገባም ብለው ውጭ ላይ ምናምን ታበያለሽ። በዛን ሰዓት ጎረምሳዎቹ እና ምግብ ያው አታገኙ
በቃ ተበላሻሽቼ ምናምን የሆነ ሳለ ደግሞ ወደ መጥፎ ነገር ገብቼ ነበረ። ሱስ የምጠቀመው ምግብ ለመርሳት እና በቃ ሁሉ ነገር ለመርሳት ነው። እሱን ተጠቀም
መውጣት ፈልጌ ነበር፣ ግን ትንሽ በጊዜው ነገሮች አልተመቻቹልኝም እና እስከዚህ ጊዜ ቆይቼ ነበር ማለት ነው። ሰዎች እየፈለጉ በነበረ ሰዓት አገኙኝና ይዘኝ መጡ
እና እንክብካቤያቸው ደስ ይላል እና በቃ አሁን ደግሞ ሁሉም ጋር እንደ ተባቦች ተስማምተን ተሳስበን አንድ ላይ እንኖራለን። በቃ በጣም ደስተኛ ነን ሁላችን።
ምግብ ዝግጅቱ ያው በጣም የሙያ ዘርፌ ነው። ነገ ራሴን ወይም ህይወቴን ይለውጥልኛል ብዬ የማምንበት ስላደረግ ነው።
እኔ አሁን እዚህ ስልጠና ከጨረስኩ በኋላ በጣም ትልቅ ሆቴል መስራት እፈልጋለሁ።
በቃ ራሴን መስመር ይዤ እንድሄድ
እዛ ያለው ነገን እንደማየው ምናምን ተስፋ አልነበረኝም። አሁን ግን ደስተኛ ነኝ። ወደፊት ተስፋ አለኝ።
So this is a testimony of 5 of the young women, and we've heard many more when we've been visiting Ethiopia. Very touching stories. But I would like to start with you, Jonas, please. Jonas here is the founder of Hope for Children, and you told me before that at a very young age, at 17, you felt a need to do something for the children you saw on the street. Can you tell us a little bit about that time in your life?
Yeah, we started in 2001. We were a high school student. We are not wealthy or from wealthy family. We don't have, as a high school student, we don't have enough finance or materials, but we have good heart. You know, when we went out on the street, we saw children, young people, until the end, the old age. They slept on the street. They eat from the garbage container and sleeping there. So we had a discussion, what can we do for these people, even if we are high school student? The discussion, we decided, let's share what we have. Let's share our clothes. Let's share our lunch box and our transportation money. By that, we decided, and we start to help 5 kids or 5 children. We said, even if difficult the situation, even if they have a lot of questions, to help someone, it is enough to be human. We try to ask different people to support us, but if we go to church, if we go to different offices, most people, almost all, they are not willing. Everybody advises us to focus on our education because they said, you are not supporting yourself, you are thinking for the others. So, but we couldn't continue. We starting support 5 children. This is the beginning. We start our organization.
Thank you, Jonas. And also to gain their trust. I know that you had to live on the streets together with them, share their food, share their everyday living. And from this very dedicated but humble beginning, the organization has now grown. It has 70 people working for the organization. It helps thousands and thousands of young people every year. So let's move into one of these programs that we talked about, which is called New Life. So Nebiu, can you tell us a little bit about what is this program and what are you doing?
Thank you so much. New Life is one of the programs that the organization engaged in. So in the New Life program, there are different provisions for youth coming from street life and youth exposed to commercial sex industry. The first thing what we do is organizing them, and we try to bring them to group home for homeless individuals. Because in the group home, they can live with mother and get basic needs. So they are very familiar with the community as well. The second thing that we're going to do is we provide a kind of medical treatment to identify whether they are cured or not. There may be contagious diseases. There may be a kind of disease that needs treatment. So after having identified this, we can communicate with medical centers in order to be cured. The third thing what we are going to do is we provide them two kinds of training. The first one is short-term vocational training. The other one is life skill training. The vocational training is stay with them for a year. It helps them to have self-dependency life. And the life skill training helps them to avoid undesirable behavior they develop through time on the street. So these two things go together for a year. And at the same time, we're doing a kind of saving and seed money. The saving is used for clothing and other facilities. The seed money is provided for them. When they complete the training, they either start their own business or they provide different kinds of material for their own. So this is the provision that we provide for them. The last one we provide for them is we provide sanitary material in order to keep their hygiene. So this is the activity provided for them under the New Life program. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And of course, meeting people from a background like this, who have grown up on the streets, you don't just walk up to a person and say, hey, do you want to join a program? So Jonas, how do you reach them? What is the first thing that you focus on when you invite them into your program?
Actually, we have outreach program. We went on the street to talk about. We try to create friendship, and when we know each other, we invite them in our dropping center. That dropping center is to build trust, like a family, because these boys and girls, they are rejected by our own society, especially the street children. They thought they are gambler or thief people, wrong perspective about them. So it is also the time to identify their needs, their interest. We cannot put them in different trainings, take this or take that. First, we give them awareness creation. We encourage them, we empower them in different aspects. And when we build trust in that home, start step by step, we show them also what kind of training they want, depend on their interest or talent. After we build the trust and relationship, we guide them for the next level.
Okay, thank you. I forgot to say in the beginning also that if you have questions during this presentation, we will be available at the Church of Sweden exhibition downstairs afterwards. So, Amen. I'm sure there are challenges working with exposed children like this. Can you say something about that?
Yes, of course, there's challenges when working with these girls. Even though the opportunities are even bigger, we struggle sometimes with keeping the girls in the program. And the main factors for this is, like Jonas mentioned, to be able to help someone, we need to create trust. We need to build a relationship with these girls. And building relationship takes time. And sometimes that's one of the biggest challenges, to get them to open up stay with the program, continue with the program in that way. The other factor could be the income. These girls come from commercial sex work, where they usually make more money than they do in this program. So they have commitments that they might be supporting their families and supporting other people, which forces them to get more. They have to get more income than they get in the program. Also, old relationships and old friends are things that can pull them back into their old lifestyle. So we always advise them to cut those type of connections and relationships for them to be able to be successful in the programs. And also addiction is an issue which is can be difficult to break out from. I think these are the biggest challenges.
So they stay with you for 1 year at this program, living in the safe housing and receiving the vocational training. Now, we always speak about sustainability in these kind of contexts. Is this a sustainable program? Does it create sustainable change for these women after they leave the program?
Yeah, we can see the sustainable change in the life of these young girls. One of the things that we focus on is we give them hope. We show them direction, the way how they're going to live after they're completed the year program with us. So the one thing that we will make it is to show them the way how they're going to live their life. The first thing is this one. The other one is they do have destructive relationship with the community, with the self, and with others. So we build a kind of self-confidence and having good relationship with the community, because when they finish the program, they live with the community. So if they don't have a good outlook about the community, it's very difficult for them to internalize with the community. So one thing what we are doing is this. So we will build up a kind of self-confidence, at the same time having good relationship with the community. At the same time, we give them intense life skill training to accept themselves as it is. Otherwise, if they don't accept themselves, it's very difficult for them to live with the community. The other thing is the training, the vocational training provide them different opportunities. One thing, they can be employed. The other thing is they can start their own business. There are many girls, there are many users start their own business, at the same time get the opportunity to be hired and being self-reliant or self-dependent. The last one, what I want to mention is they build a kind of self-confidence. They can easily communicate with people. In order to make them live with other people, the training helps them a lot. So these are the sustainability what we have observed from the program. Thank you.
Amen. You are on the board of this organization. I mean, there are many organizations that work with these kind of issues. But what would you say makes Hope for Children unique as an organization and successful in what they're doing?
Yes. As a board member, I'm very proud to be a part of Hope and the amazing work that they do. What makes Hope unique, I would say, is, like you heard from Jonas earlier, is how this organization came about. It is a vision that emerged from love and from sharing and caring for people. And this is something that you can feel and see throughout the whole organization, from the management down to the staff. And for every right holder, this is something that they experience as well when they're part of Hope. So this is something I feel is very unique, and this vision is planted into everyone involved in this organization. Hope is a right-centered organization, meaning they give individual attention to everyone in the programs, which is not easy to do. Like you heard, we have more than 70 staff and over thousands of right holders. But this is something that when talking to the girls and talking to the beneficiaries, we notice that they feel like they've been seen and part of the Hope family. So I would say this is the magic in Hope.
Yeah. And you also gave us a quote. Can you elaborate a little bit about this? Someone believes enough to invest and support my journey.
Yes. So as we said, we're talking about the program in Addis Ababa, but Hope also supports women in the rural area and have different types of women empowerment programs. And the women in the cities who come from commercial sex trade, they all have something in common. They all lack hope. And this organization, Hope for Children, comes and gives them hope. But not only that, they also provide them tools to succeed with their visions. And this is all they need to succeed. The rest they do on their own. So what we say is when you change the life of one woman, you change the life of a whole society. And that's what we see in the rural areas, supporting women and their visions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as a partner, when I come down, I can really give a testimony to that. You see the interaction between the staff and the right holders. It's a connection of caring and love. And also when you've gone through the program, many people come back. They consider themselves to be a family of hope, which is also a testimony to your success. Thank you very much. We will move on.
Yeah, we will move on. Yes, of course. Thank you. We will move on to Ethiopian Graduate School of Theology. And of course, you have a lot of things going on there. There are research programs, education, and so on. And we will hear about two things that the Helsingborg parish are involved with. And Wussen and Hanna will soon tell us. And we will start with a small movie as well for this part of the seminar, and it's about mentor mothers.
መልካም እረኛ ኢየሱስ እስከ ዛሬ ረድቶናል። ክብር ለሆነን ጌታ፣ ሞገስ ለሆነን ጌታ፣ ብርታት የሆነን ጌታ፣ በጉልበታችን ፈንታ ክንዱን በዘመናችን በዓይናችን አይተነዋል። መልካም እረኛ ኢየሱስ እስከ ዛሬ ረድቶናል። ሸንጎ በእኛ ላይ ሲማገድ ዲያብሎስ ሊያጠፋን ሲጥር ማነው ደርሶ የታደገን? በመከራ በት የሆነን ታሪክ ይናገር ብዙ ነው ብዙ ነው። ለእኛስ ያደረገው ከእግራችን ስር ወድቆ ጠላት ጭንቅላቱን ረገጥነው። አማረቅን ለኢየሱስ ምስጋና ድንቅ አምላክ ነውና ደመናም በላይ ሸለቆ ይሞላል። ለሰው ማይቻል ለእግዚአብሔር ይቻላል። አማረቅን ለኢየሱስ ምስጋና ቃሉን የሚያድን ድንቅ አምላክ ነውና ደመናም በላይ ሸለቆ ይሞላል። ለሰው ማይቻል ለእግዚአብሔር ይቻላል።
Yes, and all these women on the movies, we met them when we were visiting you, and we asked them, is it okay to be on a movie and to use in this matter? And now we're going to talk to you, Wussen. Maybe some of you have heard of Mentor Mothers. It's a project that ACT, Church of Sweden, work with. Some of you may not. So we will ask you, what are mentor mother? And you are a project manager from EGST working with this. So please tell us.
Thank you, Linda. Mentor mothers are a community worker. They are really committed, very passionate community workers, and they are selected from the community. They live in the community, they speak the community language, they know the situation in the community. So after they selected from the community, they have got an extensive training in maternal health, child health, family planning, utilization, immunization, and gender-based violence, and different trainings. They are also selected based on the characters they have and also the experience they have related to pregnancy, child care, and childbirth. So they serve their community by going house to house and teaching the community, counsel the community, and solving the problem of the community by create a relationship. They build a relationship, then within that relationship, they solve the problem together with the community. That's the mentor mothers.
And you say they are mothers from the area, so they themselves are mothers and have experience. But how do you select the women to do this? How did you find the mentor mothers?
Yeah, we work with church, so they are a member of church, and we know how which women are contributing to the community, who do volunteer activities among their community. So we will post a vacancy. Then based on the vacancy, we will select them based on the experience they have, and based on the character they have, and based on the testimony they have from the church.
Yeah. And you already told us a bit about what are they doing on the field?
The mentor mothers, they do many things, but they focus in three main areas. The first one is preventive health. In the preventive health, we teach the family, we teach the mothers about maternal health, child health, proper antenatal care follow-up, proper postnatal care follow-up, utilization of family planning, and so on, to prevent themselves from preventable diseases. Most of the mothers are dying from preventable diseases. So we teach the mothers to recognize the danger signs that might happen during pregnancy, after giving birth, and the newborn child might have such kinds of danger signs. Then we will teach them to recognize it, and to respond early as possible. So that's the one we are working on, on prevention health. Then the second one is the rehabilitative health. After the child or the mother acquired a disease or a sickness, we will help them, we will support them to get treatment early as possible before they develop complication. That's the second one that the mentor mothers are working. And the third one is women empowerment. The women empowerment is very important, as we heard earlier. If women empowered, the family will get a better life. So we are working on it, the mothers or the family, to have a sustainable income, to invest for family, nutrition, and health. So we are working on these three main areas.
Thank you, Wilson. I know mentor mother, there exist in different places in the world, but in Addis, how many mentor mothers do you have?
Currently, the Addis Ababa project is not working, but we are working around Addis Ababa, but 40 kilometers south of Addis. And there are around 24 currently.
Yeah, and how many mothers do they meet?
Yes, it's around 10 years since the Mentor Mother project is started. So we have a lot of need, and we have more than 2,000 family members currently who will get support from the project.
That's amazing. And I don't know if this is all easy, but of course there are some challenges. Can you please tell us what this mentor mother meet? What challenges do they meet?
You know, since we are living in Ethiopia, we have a lot of challenge, and particularly in our projects, there are challenges, but the major one is the devastating economic situation in Ethiopia. Especially currently, the high inflation rate makes the situation complicated. The mothers and the family have difficulty of accessing the basic necessities. The family is struggling to fulfill the basic necessity for their children. It's okay, the family, they might struggle, but it's very heartbreaking to see the child struggling to survive. That's the major challenge we are facing these days. Children have right to access food, to access shelter, to access clothing, but some are living in a very difficult situation. That's a major challenge. Even the mentor mothers, when they go to house, sometimes they do beyond what's expected from the mentor mothers, because it's difficult to see a child with hunger, starvation, and naked. So that's a major challenge. And the other challenge is due to the internal displacement. There are lots of women and family are moving from one place to another place, and relatively our project area is safe. So there are women and family come to that project area. So there is a lot of demand, and that we can't help all at the same time. I mean, it's beyond our plan, it's beyond our budget. So, and we believe that every mother have a right to utilize a health service, to get the information about her health, to get the information about family planning. So it's difficult for us to say no, but that affects and challenge us to include all family members in our project. That's a major challenge. There are malnutrition. We support malnourished children who have mild and moderate malnourished children at home by home-based nutrition support. But currently that's affected because there are many, many mothers and children who have this mild and moderate malnutrition. So it's beyond our capacity to cover all the challenge. That's our challenge.
Yeah, and I know that you work with the mentor mothers because they feel that they can't do anything, so they feel bad for everyone they see and so on. Yeah. And it's amazing to go with you around with the mentor mothers because they are so loved. The children, they hug each other and they call them friend, sister, grandmother, mother. So they're doing not only the work, they are also a good relation to have for the young mothers.
Sure.
Can you just please say something about the dads? What about the dads?
Yeah, that's also the other challenge that we have. Most mothers in the community are single moms. So they have 4 children, 5 children, and the dads, they left them. So mothers are struggling alone to support that family. But we are working on it, working with male involvement. Currently we are involving men based on their availability to be part of the family, part of the child care, part of family support. So we are working on it currently.
Thank you. And of course, we need to ask you as well if this is a sustainable change for the women?
Yes. Sustainable development is possible. Community really change when they got an opportunity to develop. If they got an opportunity, they really change. So it's also demonstrated in many ways in the project. Women are able to support their family. The number of malnutrition is reduced, and there is remarkable change towards maternal and child mortality. Ethiopia is a big country, as we heard earlier. We are contributing very few compared to the challenge we have in general. But in the project side, in the past 10 years, we have 0 maternal mortality. That's really give us courage that development is possible. And the family is also, their livelihood is progressing. Some of the mothers are started small businesses. They started saving money. They started believing by themselves that I can do that. I can be changed, they say. I remember one of the women, when I visited her, she told me that it was for me impossible to bake the traditional injera for my children at home. I was baking injera for other people. They just give me 1 or 2 injera. That was how we were surviving. But currently, I'm able to bake injera for my family. Yeah, it's very meaningful if I speak it in Amharic. So there is sustainable development is possible, but they need support.
Thank you, Wussen. Thank you.
Thank you.
The third program we want to touch upon is a scholarship program. The parish works with capacity building and women empowerment on different levels and in many different ways. And one way is that in collaboration with the Ethiopian Graduate School of Theology, we provide a scholarship for women to be able to study on master's level. So Hanna, please, can you explain a little bit about what this scholarship program is?
Thank you. EGIST as an academic institution, from its very name, it is a higher academic institution, and it has 3 main areas to focus on, that is teaching, research, and community engagement. Under the community engagement pillar, there is the Mentor Mother projects, which has been presented by my colleague Wussen. Under the teaching pillar, it offers different MA programs in the areas of leadership and management, development studies, peace and sustainable development, and biblical and theological studies. So under one of our programs, for example, development studies, we have 2 focus areas, gender and health and community development, where our students have the chance to do practicum with Wussen's project, and they also conduct their MA researches in those areas. So EGIST offers, provides a scholarship for female students in all of these programs. So by doing so, EGIST, it is contributing to the SDG Goal 5, which has to do with women empowerment. Yep.
Thank you. Maybe it's a little bit of a redundant question, but what does this opportunity mean for the women receiving the scholarship?
It means a lot to them. Yeah. As someone living in a developing country like Ethiopia, even though women can hold their bachelor degrees, they find it difficult to further their education, mainly because of financial constraints. So when we provide scholarship opportunity, that means it helps them to focus on their studies without having to worry about how to finance their education. It also helps to develop confidence in themselves and feeling capacitated towards their future goals. And they also feel fulfillment when they think of assuming better positions after completion of their studies. Yeah.
In one way, you can say that the scholarship is an input value. It's not a goal in itself. But what is the outcome of this? What happens when they receive an academic degree?
Since we are empowering them, mainly EGIST is doing its part in order to help them to engage in not only to better their lives and get a better salary, but EGIST as an institution wants women to be part of the decision making, to involve in decision making at higher levels even. Yeah.
And is that opportunity open in organizations and businesses and government in Ethiopia?
Yeah, because education, if we educate women, education, it helps them to shape their worldview, so they become self-aware, it increases their self-confidence, and it also enhances their competence. So the more competent they become, the more self-confident they will be, and they also, the more they become competent in or carrying out what is interested to them. So they can also, in a way, it also helps them to experience financial freedom. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Anna.
You're welcome.
We want to ask, yes, please. We want to finish this seminar by asking Amen a question. Amen, you are in a unique position of knowing very well both the Swedish context and the Ethiopian context. You were born and raised in Sweden, and you live in Addis since many years back. From what we've heard today, what can we as a Swedish organization learn when we work together with partners in Ethiopia?
Yeah, thank you, Thomas. Yes, I'm in this unique position with 1 foot in Ethiopia and 1 foot in Sweden, the 2 countries that are very dear to my heart. So yes, I do have some learnings or some things that I want you all to take with you today as the donor country in this situation, or the donor organizations. So I've worked in Ethiopia for almost between 8 to 9 years. We work with localization of projects and knowledge transfer between the 2 countries. And we've learned a lot. But one of our biggest learnings, I would say, is that change any type of change can only come from within. Okay, so that goes for people, you know, when we want to change, we have to decide and we have to bring solutions to our own problems. And that goes also for the right holders in these countries as well. So this is a big learning. We started off thinking that we had the solutions to all the problems, and you know, you should just do it this way and just do it like we tell you to do it. But we saw that that does not work. We have to create relationships, which take time. And we have to understand the local contexts and partner with local change makers to be able to get the results that we're looking for. And once we're able to get the problem holders to come up with solutions, then change happens really quick and really in a sustainable way. So this I'm a witness to. Talking about sustainability, we've been talking to all these fantastic projects, and we're working so hard for the right holders to have sustainable solutions for their lives and their situations. But I want to talk a little bit about the sustainability for the projects and the organizations in the same way. So this is something that as donor organizations, I want you to think about, like, what happens when you're not around anymore, or when what happens to these right holders, what happens to these children. This is something that we should help the organizations strategize about and work closely with the organizations that we support to find ways to become sustainable and to support their core programs and the causes that you support. So one example is for Hope for Children. They work with women and give them vocational trainings to be able to support themselves and find a profession, which is fantastic. But we're looking at how can we make this scale this up, and make these type of trainings available for the communities and many people, and use this as an income generating activity so that we can support the more women and the core programs that we have. So this is the thoughts I want to leave you guys with today. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes, and we will end this seminar with a quote to bring with us. Let's stand on the side of the marginalized and vulnerable groups of the society in a brotherhood and sisterhood spirit. So I would really much thank you for being traveling so far, coming here, telling us about this. And of course, there's a lot of things more to say. And I will invite you all to the exhibition of the Church of Sweden. You guys will be there. And I will also invite you tonight at 7 o'clock down in the city, when everything is finished up here. We will invite you to an open house, an open café at Maria församlingshus. It's Södra Storgatan 20. Everyone in the city knows what it is, I hope. So please come there, and let's give a big applause for our guests. Thank you.